So, Michiru is back. Insert your Infinite Blade Works jokes here, but in all seriousness, it was nice seeing how Michiru's friends all came to see him after he woke up, even if that meant flying across to America. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton. Today we're talking all things episode 7 of the Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe arc series. A nice little episode that really didn't feel like a 25-minute episode. Regardless, let's talk about it. So starting off, I liked and disliked how we skipped over Group D's fights in Deluxe. As we know that Michiru was going to win, so seeing 4 matches with him just dominating would have just been a drag. But not learning who the other competitors were in Group D was a massive shame. I do hope they tell us later on who they were, but I'm guessing the reason as to why they haven't done so yet is because they're trying to keep the identity of the runner-up competitor a secret. However, whoever this mystery second place fighter is A, not a pushover, as they were getting quite a lot of hype by both Michiru and Danji, and B, they're someone new. After all, if they were a returning character, Danji wouldn't have reacted the way that he did, and my guess is that it's that girl from Kagetsu's thoughts that we saw in the previous episode. But I would have loved it to have been a Dear Days character if we find out that it is someone of that variety. Heck, even if anyone in the Dear category, heck, even if anybody within the D group was a Dear Days character, I would still be hyped for that. With that said, Michiru's return reminds us of the passion and love for the game that this guy has. He's oozing excitement every time he sees a card and gushes over new mechanics that he's never seen before. And obviously, he's been in that cyberspace for a very long time. And now the game has evolved around him. So when he battles after waking up, he finds out about these things like energy gauges, divine skills, and even more units. Most people would feel lost and overwhelmed. Yet he's excited and fascinated by these new things that he can add to his own game to improve himself even more. Now this episode gives off the vibe of an old player returning to the game and learning that there are so many new things. You can either sink or swim, thus embracing the new. Now on a personal level, I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh for a very long time. And in returning to find out about pendulums, XYZs, and links, that's a lot to process. Luckily, Rush Duels came along, and that reignited my enjoyment even more. But now back to Michiru's character. Again, we knew that a character like him, who loves, lives and breathes Vanguard, would never cower or falter at the idea of something new and having to learn things all over again. In fact, that would be like his favourite thing in the world. But now that we even learn that he's leveled up his senses by being able to see souls more clearly, but also being able to see the souls of cards, allowing him to understand the bond between both fighter and unit. I can see this being a really fun idea in him evaluating fighters, and I like to see how he uses that sort of newfound ability with the Divinez group. Maybe he can see the disconnect between Zuzune and her units, or the strength of bonds between Akina and Raziel. After all, he was mentioned as someone of interest to Michiru. This is Akina that I'm referring to. And speaking of characters Michiru should encounter, what if he meets Suo? These two would never stop card fighting, and secretly, I kind of want to see them go up against each other in this tournament. Okay, that would be another loss for Suo, but it would be really cool, and that friendship that would be created as a result, it would be forever lasting. So then, as we leave America, we of course still have the rest of the groups of A, B, and C fights to come. So what great throwdowns await us? We'll have to just wait and see. Plus, who is the second place fighter in Group D? Hopefully all will be revealed soon. But with that being said, this episode was, like I said, it felt really quick, it felt quite wholesome, and it was nice to see a character return, even if, sorry if you're a fan of his, it's not one of my favourites. Have a great day, hope you've enjoyed this review, like, comment, and... With that said, I hope you've enjoyed this review, like, comment, and subscribe for more things Vanguard and card game related. Have a great day, alligator matane, goodbye.